intensive this time. I told everyone it was a very busy September. We have lots of events. We have lots
Yep.
going on. Very confusing time for a lot of people. So we're doing our absolute best to double down on information to make sure people don't get confused. Tell us a bit about Intensive, Patrick, and that event. Why do we host that event?
Well, it's interesting because we do so much research on what's going on economically. One of the things that we're hearing time and time again is number one, homeowners or first time home buyers are having trouble getting in the real estate market. And we're going, well, no, there's ways to work around that. Number two, many are considering investing in real estate, but don't know if they should. All the headlines are quite frightening. And, of course, everybody hears the stories about tenants and toilets. So when we look at all of that, what we put together and we've been doing for, gosh, I guess a few years now, is what we call Real Estate Investing in Canada Intensive, which is a 6-hour live webinar meeting where we walk people through the process of determining why they would want to invest in real estate, perhaps even if they want to, because we show them the path. And so ultimately, JG, if you knew that you could reduce risk substantially, significantly by knowing how to invest in real estate and make a decision from knowing rather than speculating or guessing, would investing in real estate be of interest?
Well, I
And
think
the
at the end
short
of the
answer
day,
is yes.
yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day, Patrick, you said something interesting there, which is this course is good for people that are non-homeowners, want to become homeowners, but
Yeah.
also want to know how to do it right. As a
Mhm.
Canadian, your home is your biggest asset. And I know there are some people out there that say your home is not an asset. That's baloney. I don't believe that for a second. As a Canadian, my home is my biggest asset, and that is the case for all Canadians. So when you
Yeah.
do invest in a home, you have to invest properly. You have to invest wisely, and there are ways for you to create a foundation for yourself that whether or not you want to go from a homeowner to an investor, whether you want to go from one home to two homes, or maybe one to three, or one to five, or one to 50, it doesn't matter what the number is. You have to take certain steps now. You have to set
Yeah.
yourself up and make sure that you create a foundation that you can build upon, not just speculate in the market. And Patrick, there's way too much speculation right now. And things like COVID
Mhm.
19, things like the coronavirus, things like the elections, things like the promises everyone is making is creating a bunch of speculation for people. And those are the people that are going to get hurt. If they come to Intensive, they will become sophisticated and strategic real estate investors, not speculators.
Well, that's exactly the perfect point, right? In a market like this, there's so much speculation and people get caught up in the hype. My neighbors, oh man, they made $500,000 last year on their house. Well, okay, that may have some, truth to it, but really, did they make $500,000 or did their net worth go up and, are they counting their cash? Did they sell that property? So there's a lot of what drives speculation is looking across the fence at a neighbor or a friend and who claims of making millions and all of the stories that come with it, and then people dive into it. It's not a lot unlike, for those who, let's say, I don't know, we'll use cryptocurrencies as an example. A lot of hype behind cryptocurrencies. Are they real? Is there opportunities? Sure, if you know what you're doing, if you understand it. But if you're just going because of the hype, that's really a speculative move. No different in housing. When you start to understand what drives real estate, then you're not speculating. You're actually making a conscious choice based on a path that makes sense, the economic fundamentals that drive a real estate market. Because it's always, at the end of the day, it's about risk mitigation. It's about leveraging your capital. It's about getting a return on your investment. And that's how we have to do it, through a really methodical, practical system or process, if you will. And that's there. And if you don't know it exists, you're going to make speculative moves.
Well, and that's what we reveal at the Intensive is we reveal that system, the 15 steps to real estate investing success. I mean, we take 6 hours and it's action packed, Patrick. I mean, we're giving exercises. People are doing the work. They're crunching the numbers. They're running everything they need to run in order to be a successful real estate investor in a 6 hour period. It's quite intensive. That's why we call it the Intensive. And people
Yep.
kind of feel like they're drinking from a fire hose, but it's a phenomenal quick start. It's a phenomenal, fast-paced event that'll really get people dialed into whether this is for them or isn't for them. And if it is for them, it's going to illuminate the path forward to say, okay, eliminate the confusion, eliminate the chaos, eliminate the other so-called experts that are out there trying to educate you. Here's a proven path that's been working for 30 years. $5.4 billion of real estate has been created from this system. It's It's been done before by 165,000 other people. You can do it too if you just follow the system. I think I love your quote the best, Patrick, which is, real estate doesn't fail us, we fail real estate. And this is a perfect event to show people that real estate doesn't fail us. There is a proven path and a proven system. If you jump on board and if you do it the way we show you, you will be successful.
Yeah, and the good news about all of this is that the intensive opens the door to more. It certainly opens the door to more education, more understanding. We don't sell real estate, by the way. We don't sell $30,000 coaching programs, so none of that is what you have to. You don't need to concern yourself with any of that. But if at the end of this 6 hours, you'll get your questions answered. You'll actually have a plan that yes, there is a way to move forward investing in real estate. Or holy cow, this is way too much for me. I could never pull this off. But then you're making a educated choice based on information that is current, it's real, it's proven, it's actually quite methodical, it's systematic. You're not scratching your head wondering, well, how did you come to that conclusion? It is all relatable in terms of how you can process it. So it's a 6 hour part of your day that actually is an investment of time that we love to make sure you're getting a huge return on your investment of time so that you can actually go back and make, like I say, at the end of the day, you're going to be able to make a decision saying, real estate, this is really cool. I'm interested in this, or no, something, this is way more than I can handle. And here's the other side of it. For those who are maybe watching this that are looking to buy their first home, I just had this conversation with a young lady today, as a matter of fact, who's got money. She's actually got a lot of investment capital, but because she works out of country, she doesn't qualify for a mortgage. And so, I'm going to sit down with her and show her how to put a plan together where she can still invest in that piece of real estate and work the process and go through it and be engaged and be involved, own that first home that she's looking for, and do it in a way that's effective and helps her and actually would, in fact, help somebody else along the way. And that's what you get out of this intensive JG, is a perspective that you just don't get anywhere else.
Yeah, we're going to teach people how to get the bank to say yes, how to make sure they position themselves properly so the bank does support their plans, whether that's on property number 1, property number 5, property number 10, or property number 50. And once, because everybody at some point ends up running out of capital, we also teach raising capital in this intensive. I mean, we cover the gambit on everything, including raising capital. And we actually give people real exercises. We actually give them tools, strategies, tips, and tricks that right there make an impact in them actually raising capital. People have come out of this course and then went on to raise capital right away. I mean, we are not, this isn't a fluffy event, Patrick. This is an intensive. We're really diving deep into the tactics and strategies that makes a difference for real estate investors.
Well, and the most important part of that you just said there is, tactics and strategies. And it's most important is tactics and strategies and why you would use them in some markets and not others. Real estate is regional. We talk often about how the annoying thing about headlines is they talk about a national real estate market. We say time and time again, there's no such thing as a national real estate market. That's like saying, what's the average temperature in Canada? Like temperature, real estate is very regional, right down even to the neighborhood in many cases, JG, as you know. And then we look at the economic fundamentals. We look at what's going on economically. And especially now, you've got COVID, you've got a new government that's about to be elected, you've got housing supply and demand issues, rising costs, low interest rates. I mean, gosh, there's so much information. So how do you disseminate that? How do you take that information and bring it together so that you can make a clear decision of how you want to move forward in real estate? And we're going to cover a lot of that. To your point, we look at the 15-step property ladder. We look at how to get the bank to say yes. We even talk a little bit about property management to at least give you a context for it, how to build your team. These are all things that are so important in making a decision. How do you align yourself in a way that moves you forward? Because this is not a game you play on your own. You're going to have to build some relationships. And that's also a part of what we talk about.
And if you're thinking, there's no cash flow in my market, we're going to teach you once and for all how to eliminate that excuse of there's no cash flow in this market. We're going to show you how to get around it. If you're thinking I can't get financing, it's just impossible, we'll show you how to get over that. I mean, this is truly an obstacle smashing session, Patrick, because we are going to get people over those obstacles, over those excuses, and we're going to get people doing what they love to do best, which is gaining momentum on them creating a life by design and a life that is financially certain, financially secure, and one day financially free. So that's what we're going for, folks.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. These are always intimate events. These are not
Yeah.
events where we have thousands of people. We have
Nope.
those big events too, where we have hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people. This is not one of them. This is an intensive and intimate
Yeah.
event. Patrick and I are leading it, and you're going to have your cameras on. We're going to get to connect with you. We're going to answer your questions. So make sure you sign up right now. And the tickets are actually 75% off. You can get into this event for $71, Patrick. I mean, $71. What an incredible value. It's like
well,
$11 an hour.
And that's all because the jokes we tell are really bad. So, we can't add a value of good jokes, sadly. But listen, we have fun.
The jokes are bad, but the information's great.
That's true. And these are very interactive. We want to get to know you. We want your camera turned on. That would be ideal for us always. And we want to know exactly where you're at so that we can speak, because these are live. And we will adjust to make sure that you get looked after, so you get your questions answered. Whether you're still trying to figure out how to spell real estate or you already own some, doesn't matter. We can enter the conversation where you're at and take you to the next level and really support you in your next steps of the journey of investing in real estate. Or, like I say, even buying your first home. This is such an important conversation. We know it's a big conversation, and 60% of the people who are buying their first home consider it an investment. Well, let's make some real cool and wise decisions. How do we maximize that? And why do we need to consider that? So lots of conversation to be had about that, but that's also why you would want to attend an intensive.
Whether it's your first home, your next home, your first investment, or your next investment, this is the place for you to be. So we'll see you at Intensive, folks. Get signed up. Incredible value, unbelievable price. Get signed up, click the link, do what you got to do, and Patrick and I will see you there. It is coming up this weekend on Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So you got to move quick because time is running out. Patrick, we'll see you there, buddy.
Thanks, everybody.